We've got a good one today with more info from inside the courtroom, as close Trump ally David Pecker, who also owns the National Enquirer, was the first to give testimony, setting the stage for introducing the framework and infrastructure behind this alleged conspiracy. And as someone who was in direct contact with both Cohen and Trump, and as we find out had a direct hand in some of these accounts being alleged, he had some rather big bombshells to drop. Starting off slightly before that, however, was the gag order hearing, since Trump has broken this over 12 times, continuously posting about witnesses and talking about them in interviews, and it seems that his lawyer is now struggling to defend him and his actions when asked about how he could explain what Trump was responding to if not directly attacking Cohen and witnesses. His lawyer sheepishly said it was about the judge in his courtroom and how there were two tiers of justice going on in front of him, to which the judge asked, "Are you serious?" Pretty much. Because, and as I mentioned in another video, Trump has broken the gag order over 12 times. Any other defendant instantly jailed, instantly fined. The judge is still pondering it. Didn't even rule on if he was going to actually fine him or anything. Trump's lawyer then went on to say that if Trump reposted something that was negative towards the witnesses, it's not a direct endorsement, of which was also pretty quickly shot down as not a viable legal argument before the judge told Trump's lawyer he's losing his credibility quickly. When David Pecker finally did take the stand and his testimony started, he articulated how he and Trump met, how they became friends and had a working relationship of sorts, detailing a 2015 meeting where Trump asked him and he agreed to only run positive stories about Trump and negative ones about his opponents in the lead up to his election, including admissions of running negative and false stories about the Clintons because they were mutually beneficial in being a top seller for the Enquirer and making and keeping Trump very happy. And that after Republican debates, Michael Cohen, at Trump's direction, would call him to tell him who he was going to target next based off how they performed in the debates. And that is where the article about Ted Cruz's father came from, where Trump himself would often cite it to justify the lies and conspiracy he was spewing about him. Funny to note quickly, Ted Cruz said, "Oh, I don't want to comment about that. No need to dig up past history," all because, he's endorsing Trump now. This included him also intercepting negative stories about Trump, asking Cohen to vet them and their validity, and then purchasing ones that were deemed valid so they couldn't be released by other platforms. This is how the Enquirer paid for and then held the Trump Tower doorman story about Trump paying his doorman to hide an alleged child that he had from an affair and not release it until after the election. This all ties back to Trump with, as I said, Cohen is alleging that it all was at Trump's direction, that he was working directly at what Trump was telling him to do. So it proves that Trump not only had a hands-on direction in hiding truthful stories about himself, but spreading lies about his opponents, he was also willing to spend money and purchase them to do so and then lie on campaign finance reports, massively hurting his credibility here in this trial. And to me, if we're going to tie it back to other things he's been alleged to do, I think it shows even more viability of him accepting collusion from Russia as well. I mean, he was willing to do all this other shady things. Why would he draw the line there? He was clearly in the mind state of, I want the power and I will do whatever it takes to get it, whether it's illegal or legal or not. And now it's all coming back on him at once. I like that the prosecution is taking their time introducing witnesses like David Pecker to really build the case about being more than just the alleged affair and showcasing the infrastructure, the lengths that Trump went to for what boils down essentially to election interference. And the fact that it revolves around an affair just even further shows his immorality and hurts him with his own evangelical base that he tries to appeal to so much. The DA has finally identified the exact underlying statute that predicates the illegal activity, and it's New York Election Law 17152, which he pretty clearly violates, and that mixed with the multiple other charges attached to this case, it does not look good for the failed former president. If you enjoyed this video, we're Social Society. We're a commentary channel influenced by politics, society, and the economy. We are pretty left-leaning on this channel, but we're open to our right-wingers as well. The biggest thing here is having conversations that get everyone to the bottom of the truth. If that sounds like something that could interest you, consider smashing that subscribe button, leaving us a like, or even commenting on this video. We even have memberships available as low as $3 if you'd like to support, because the only way we become a society is together.